We live in a society. Hey guys, what the fuck is up, you guys? My name is Z-Man-Dad64 too, and I gotta be a little quiet because my cat's sleeping over there and he's being too fucking cute. Oh. So welcome to this very pinnacle moment in my album reviewing career. Even though this is only the third album I reviewed. Okay, Computer is the seminal third album by Radiohead, and oh boy, it's not like I have anything new to say about this album. I mean, everyone sucks the dick of this album so hard. For good reason. I have been a Radiohead fan for years now. This band is the band that changed my musical taste from pop punk and emo bands like My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, Green Day, and popular rock bands like Nirvana and Linkin Park, and whatever else I was listening to when I was like 14 to, well... yeah, and it's all thanks to Radiohead. They quickly became one of my favorite bands, and then became my favorite band. I like to make ranking lists of all of these albums as I review them, but I've made ranking lists of their albums in the past. Every album by this band has changed their position on my list since the first time I ever made it. Some of their albums have gone up and some of their albums have gone down. And only one album has stayed the same. Well, actually, so has Amnesiac, but obviously also OK Computer. Though everyone could probably guess where it is on the list, I'm not gonna say it. Ah, fuck you. I don't care. This is my favorite album of all time. I think it's a masterpiece and a seminal moment in the evolution of Radiohead as a band and rock and alternative music as a whole.
Okay, Computer at number 1. Daring today, aren't we?
Wake from your sleep, we're drying off your tears today. We escape, we escape. Pack and get dressed before your father hears us before.
OK Computer marked the end of an era and the beginning of another. It was very, very influential to big alt-rock names that have come later down the line like Muse or Coldplay. The album tried to subvert from mainstream music, but in the process they ended up becoming one of the biggest and most important rock bands of all time. Listening to this album in 2020 still feels fresh with the themes of technology and modern culture. It paints a dystopian future and a very bad age of technology. It's not like boomers talking about technology like phones bad. It's more of a commentary on how life will become, or should I say, has become so interconnected with technology. It's about the isolation you feel in this cold world. This fucking album came out in 1997, and it's way more relevant now in 2020 than it ever has been. Everyone understands that loneliness and isolation that comes with technology. The lyrics of the songs have an interconnected theme, a battle of humans versus technology. Airbag is about the time when Tom York was almost killed in a car crash, but was saved by an airbag. Paranoid Android is about lifeless people with no individuality. Subterranean Homesick Alien is about loneliness and isolation from others. Exit Music is about breaking free. In Letdown, you hear an acoustic guitar and a synthesizer symbolizing human versus technology, and the human loses. By the end of Karma Police, the computer takes over. This album sounds like it's from another planet. It has a very timeless feel to it. No one was really doing anything like this at the time. It is very unique and doesn't feel like a product of its time. Even the band's previous two albums feel like products of the 90s. Pablo Honey with its post-grunge and alt-rock sound, and as much as I love the album, The Bends with its 90s Britpop kind of sound. The instrumentation on this album is absolutely beautiful. Every instrument has a crisp, rich, dense sound to it. Songs like Airbag, Paranoid Android, and Electioneering has a nice, groovy sound to it, which complements well with the softer side of the album with songs like Exit Music, Letdown, and Lucky. There's a sense of loneliness and alienation to the album that coincides with its themes of technology. A lot of songs build tension to this orgasmic feeling when the songs just explode. Songs like Paranoid Android, Exit Music, and Climbing Up the Walls, and they explode into the heavier sections near the end of each song. It's an awesome feeling. I made a whole playlist of these types of songs called Songs That Make Me Come on my Spotify. Link is in the description if you're interested. I love the diversity this album is in sounds and moods. My favorite albums, at least to me, make me feel something. Not just one emotion, but a good album could take you on a roller coaster of emotions. Airbag is such a good opener. It's definitely not their best, but at least it's a good introduction to this album. And it shows you how different this is to the previous two. Paranoid Android is my favorite song of all time. It's split up into 4 parts. It starts with a groovy acoustic guitar with bits of electric, then goes into that awesome, heavy, hard-hitting chorus-like part, then slows way down to the 3rd part, then picks right back up again into another heavy part with just that wall of sound that Radiohead does so well. The chaotic guitar with Tom's screaming is so good. Exit Music is such a hauntingly beautiful song. The beginning is really bare, but that's a good thing here. The beginning is really quiet, but don't have the volume up too loud, because when Tom's vocals come in, his vocals just add to that haunting feeling with his soft whisper. That is still really loud compared to the acoustic guitar. Like I said before, that moment where the song gets heavier after the build-up is just an impactful and satisfying moment. It is a certified E-Man Dance 64-2 come moment. It's also pretty short, like a big spark that quickly dies out, which makes the part that is so heavy so much more meaningful. Every time I listen to this album, I hear something new. Like, for example, Letdown. It's now one of my favorite songs off the album. It's such a beautiful post-rock masterpiece. Karma Police has that classic, iconic piano. It makes you question what is good and what is bad. Are the Karma Police good or bad? Is the narrator good or bad? Climbing Up the Walls is another haunting one with its heavy booming drums and the explosion of sound that is so impactful. The song is about the time Tom visited a mental hospital. The album makes you feel like you're transcending into another realm of reality. It's a very epic album. Not as much as other albums, I would say, but it's an album that feels like it's trying to be bigger than itself, which is something I love as a fan of Tool. Yeah, I love that. It's an amazing piece of work that has stood the test of time. Most albums known to be big inspirations to later bands and albums are not as good as the successors, but those albums are typically classic rock albums, at least inspirational to rock in this big of a way. Many people say it's overrated, but I think it's a masterpiece. It has been my favorite album for years. Words cannot express how much this album, and really Radiohead as a whole, means to me. They have shaped my music taste into what it is today. But I'm only 17. My music taste will most likely change over time, but this album is a constant source of inspiration, and I don't think I will be growing out of Radiohead anytime soon. I'm going to give Radiohead's OK Computer a 10 out of 10. Everyone, and I mean everyone, should listen to this album. You're bound to get something out of it. With all the genres and musical influences, there is definitely something for everyone here. Even if you don't like this style of music, I still think it's an amazing listen. Just for the themes and how accurate this album is to modern life. It is just an all-around amazing experience. This has been Radiohead's OK Computer. Fuck you. Fuck. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I lost him. Actually, I fucking lost him. No! No! No!